Okay, now questions coming up here. Why are the tigers referred to as Aunt Jennifer's tiger? Because it's the tigers are created by her. She is the maker. She is the one who is creating the embroidery on the wool. Which word have been used to describe the tigers? So, which word do you find that you know is describing the tiger? So, bright topaz dinses. This is the word that is telling us that the tigers are bright. Tigers are as bright as topaz, and they are shiny, and they are the world of green. They are coming out of the world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They here is again the tigers. What do the tigers uh, prancing tigers symbolize? So prancing tigers symbolizes here the revolutionary, or the raise, the voice that the feminism, the voice of a feministic outlook that the poet is giving here. Why does Jennifer discover freedom in the characteristic of a tiger? So why she wants to, because probably she's suffering with the constraints of married life. She is not at all satisfied with her own life. That's why through her tigers she is symbolically raising her voice against the constraints, foundations and obligations, because she is somewhat suppressed because of the patriarchal society. So these are the possible areas where the CBSE can ask you the questions. Now stanza 2. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool. Fluttering means somewhere shivering. Shivering because of the fear created by patriarchal society again. Find even the ivory needle hard to pull. Now she's so much burdened with her life, burdened and very much annoyed or petrified with her married life, that she is not able to hold the ivory needle. Ivory is a kind of that's elephant teeth, the needle that is made up of that. So that is there. She's pulling it and making the embroidery, but it's very hard for her to pull that. The massive weight of uncle's wedding band. Now, very important. Wedding band is here the treaty or the pact or wedding marital duties, So, she is massively burdened by the uncle's wedding band, denotes again it's presenting her own marital responsibilities, in which somewhere she is lost, somewhere she is buried, somewhere she is feeling heavy to handle all those things. So, through this stanza, the poet wants to convey the fact that a woman throughout her lifetime works to glory the tiger, her husband, but she feels so much subdued, that the marital bond becomes burdensome for her at the end. This is also the reality of Aunt Jennifer's life. So, this is again, symbolical, and uncle's wedding band is very heavy for her, and that's why she can't pull the ivory needle. And that is all saying this thing, that she's somewhere subdued, submerged in the agonies and the pains created because of the burdensome married life. Stanza 3. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie still, ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. Very nice. So, the final stanza reveals a sad truth. The poet says that even death will not be able to release Aunt Jennifer from the trauma she is suffering from. This trauma actually spoils her whole life. Her life will be a story of her ordeals, rules, and the oppression that she was subjected to. However, the tigers created by her will be eternal. So, the tigers will give her the voice that she wants to say to the world, and will here we get the glimpse of an oft quoted conventional theme in poetry, that art endures beyond human life. So, art is eternal. She is dead now. She will be dead after some time. But what remains is the piece of art, the piece of artifact that will allow her to present her true thoughts and raise her revolutionary ideas and always be there and inspire generations after generations. Perhaps the poet wants to say that the women themselves are creating these tigers. They need to break their shackles, barriers. One more thing that can be inferred from the poem is that Aunt Jennifer, who for long has borne the miseries she was subjected to, now longs to freedom and dominance and male chauvinism. So she is again against the male chauvinism that is spoiling the women life. It is the story of every woman who's suffering and victimized. It is the story of all those who are buried and oppressed, subdued somewhere because of the male dominated society. But Aunt Jennifer at last says that through my art piece, through my embroidery, I'm able to define myself, and this definition will always be inspiring to generations after generations, and it will inspire the generations and it will last there till eternity. So, art is eternal. That's again one particular point which has been described here. Important questions. Why are Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wheel? Because of the constraints of married life that is created by the husband or male dominated society. What is Aunt Jennifer's doing that she finds very hard to do? So she is actually pulling the ivory needle. Why does the wedding band seem too heavy? So her unhappy married life is there, and that's why she is not able to respond to those duties, the marital duties and responsibilities. She's feeling it very burdensome. Why does Aunt Jennifer do hard work throughout the day? She is into the obligations created by the husband probably, and that is why that she throughout doing the hard work to resist. So it is because that she is actually suffering and doing the lot of hard work to make the husband happy, to make that tiger happy, but probably these particular ordeals in which she's ringed, she just wanted to break that. So that is why her hands are terrified. What are the ordeals that Aunt Jennifer has faced in her life? Very important questions. Ordeals means here the marital duties. So she is facing lot of responsibilities, lot of pressure, lot of obligations and constraints that has been created on her because of her husband probably. How was the tigers different from her? So tigers are full of chivalry, full of vigor, uh, valor and force, and they are ready to jump out of the obligations and margins. So they are not at all fearful, they are walking confidently. Why does the poet think that her creation will attain immortality? Because she feels at last that the art is the medium to represent your emotions, and it is the eternal, intransient thing that never dies, never fades away with time and conditions, and that is how she feels that art is immortal. And that's how she defines her true feelings through the piece of art. What is the significance of the title, Aunt Jennifer's Tiger? It's very relevant and apt title. It actually tells the story, the complete story of the main character, Aunt Jennifer, who is creating the tiger. The tigers are symbolical to the one who are ready to jump out or ready to revolt from that particular frame that has been created by the society, patriarchal society. So it's a very small, short poem, but has a very deep insight, deep meaning. And Dinses means occupants of a particular place. Chivalric point is to honor or bravery and fearlessness that is created by the tiger, created by Aunt Jennifer, and this all tells us about the story of Aunt Jennifer. What is the mood of Aunt Jennifer? So she's very fearful, anxious, disturbed, and her psyche is not very much comfortable. She's terrorized because of the marital responsibilities. That's why the fingers were fluttering. So, all these important questions are there which we have discussed. Please jot down. Yes, one more important, symbols and poetic devices. So, dear students, there are lot of metaphors which are used up there. One way there are, it is a metaphorical representation of that woman who is suffering, the alliteration in fingers fluttering. So you just find out some of the similes, metaphors, and alliteration. Prancing proud is also an alliteration. So here we have the poetic devices that are used here. Now, explain the stark difference in the death of Aunt Jennifer and the tigers prancing. So the tigers remain constant through the poem and only seem to become stronger as the poem progresses. However, it is Aunt Jennifer who, in her death, gradually fades away. She, in her death, gets defeated due to the unfulfilled desires. She perhaps accepts the bondage of domination as her fingers still remain ringed and she dies surrounded by the difficulties in her life. The tigers are the cherished world of freedom for her, prancing in pride. It gives us a practical look at the reality that Aunt Jennifer never wins and she accepts her defeat stoically and she confronts the society she has lived in. She bears the weight of the ring, whether dead or alive, because she has already given up her freedom by getting married. So, this is the short poem, small poem, and we have seen the different angles given by Adrienne Rich, who is again a feminist. I hope you all got the essence of the poem, and please jot down all the important points and the key points. Good day ahead. Ask your doubts in the doubt session, and please refer to the notes that I'm sharing to you and listen to the audio especially that I'm creating for you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care.